What's up YouTube, Capital G. Today we're going to talk a little bit about innovation, and I'm going to talk about why you don't see so much of it anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh! And why sometimes it's just not the best route to go down. It depends on the format. Now, innovation is something that I like to a certain extent, as long as it's still, competitive and it's still worthwhile. Innovation is something that I enjoy in Yu-Gi-Oh! The problem with innovation, and I don't mean innovation as in, a couple of tech cards. I'm talking about like innovation when you have a deck that you kind of build from the ground up, or you take two decks and kind of combine them or something like that, where it's like, you haven't really seen anything like this before. But one of the problems with innovation, and you see here, I'm running through this deck. This was just a wild idea that I have, and of course, sometimes I'll build a deck, test it, see if I like it, scrap it if I don't, make adjustments. This is the first draft of the deck, and again, guys, I played this about maybe three or four games on DN, and I mean, I made the deck from concept in probably about 40 minutes to an hour or something like that. But anyways, this is a prime example, just a deck that I built completely from scratch. There is no structure for this. This is just a straight beast control. The reason why you don't see innovation like this is because generally when you have a deck that's built from the ground up, you think about your win condition and you think about key ways to achieve this. In this deck, obviously you see a theme in my monsters. Most of these monsters are Beast or Beast Warrior. What cards go well with, Beast or Beast Warrior? Obviously, Horn of the Phantom Beast. Now, I tried to put in monsters that can stand alone pretty well, but that would also work well with skill drain. Why did I do that? Because, what I learned when I played TGs is skill drain. There are certain decks like Wind Up and Inzektors where they can't do shit when you activate skill drain. So it's an anti-meta card that can destroy your opponent, but it doesn't really hurt my deck as much, and some of my monsters even get, bigger. But obviously, we still want monsters, that can still be good standalone cards when I don't have the skill drain on the field. The problem when you run complete rogue decks like this, decks that are built from the ground up, is they don't have the inherent consistency and the inherent, I guess, unison that that other established decks have. Like, when you play completely rogue decks versus established ones, like, you don't have that cushion. You don't have that cushion to fall back on where you can say, oh, well, I know my deck does X extremely well. Like, Rabbit is an already established deck, so it's almost like, why would you run Evols if you can run Rabbit? And that's where rogue decks and innovation can really suffer. Is it's difficult to go outside of the box when you already have established decks. You already have their established win conditions, their established big successful plays, their established control plays and stuff like that that have already been proven, to win. I mean, when I look at this deck, if I have a bad game, it's almost like I look at my TGs and I think, well, they kind of run similar monsters. I have the whole beast element, I've got the skill drain, but my TGs are more, they're more sustainable, they're more consistent. Why should I run this deck over my TGs? There really isn't a valid option other than just to try and be different. Like, when you play a complete rogue deck, it's like you're the Oakland Athletics. Can they win? Absolutely. But when you're playing a game and you make a misplay, if you're playing a rogue deck, it hurts you so much more because, for me to beat Rabbit with this deck, I mean, either like I have to draw the nuts or they have to play so fucking garbage, or, my margin for error is so much lower here. Now, don't say, well, Cap, your deck is just garbage, that's why you're losing. That's not really the point. The point is, even if this isn't the most well-built deck that you've ever seen, it's the fact that it can play very similar to my already established TG deck. My TG deck is just, it's going to be better most of the time. So I want to know how you guys feel about innovation. Like, do you feel like it's worth giving up consistency just to be different, or do you feel like innovation is one of those things where it's really worth? Because a lot of times, I will say this about innovation, like, if I took this deck and I played it for a week and I really put a lot of effort into it, and then I structured it and restructured it and got it to its absolute peak, then I would probably have a good shot of having the best available version of this deck. Although at that same point, it still might not be as good as my my TG deck because the TG monsters just might flow better with the current meta. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this video wasn't too long for you guys.